Okay, so here are my F1 cars. There was a Lego set in the late 80s, but I think probably most likely early 90s. That was a set of a Formula One track and pit stop. So it's just two road pieces, a set of pits for the cars to come in, and four cars, and a truck with a trailer. And they're kind of basic like this. This is not, I mean, close to what was the basic of it. You know, this windshield wasn't on it. It was like this open car. I don't even think this rear wing setup we have on the thing was right behind them. The spoiler in the front wasn't like this. You know, the spoiler in the front, I know it was just like that. I mean, like that's how basic these cars were, which was great. And then, you know, we got our hands onto them, and it's like, you know, a windshield. And windshields, they came out with these windshields a couple of years after we had these cars, which were shorter, and they're more sports car-y things. And so we stuck those on. And then, you know, we sat there, we're like, how are these cars more like F1 cars? And it was, what do we need in them? Well, F1 cars back in the late 90s, in the early 90s, were powered by like V8s, V12s, so they were these big blocky things, and so they had these hinge pieces with a grill, and okay, well, that looks like a top of an engine, so that's a top of an engine, and then so we put those on, put these 1x4s in to hold the windshield, and left that open because it kept it looking very much more like an Indy car or Formula One car. Put on exhaust, needs a front spoiler, needs a rear spoiler, fins, all that stuff. Over time, I've actually bolted more stuff onto it. But of course, you know, being young children, everything's better with flames in the back. So there are like exhausts shooting flames out of the back. So I mean these two, me and my brother built them years and years ago. Did a few changes to them. At one point, they started making sort of smooth wheels. So I stuck the smooth wheels onto them to beef them up some more. And then a couple of years ago, those were 25 years old. This is like 10 years old. I remade one. But I'm like, let's make it a bit more realistic. You know, I don't need flames shooting out the back and all that stuff, so. And then I said, sometimes it's just taking something Lego has done and modifying it a little bit more. I mean, here's a truck. Here's one of my favorite Lego sets was this truck set. It's a truck stop with two trucks with trailers and a truck and a tow truck. You know, it had this neat printed panel, and I probably shouldn't use that finger from the damage. But you know, a couple of years later, it's like I got to make it more beefy. Added the grill, took out things, added more fuel tanks, took out pieces, but lights, big bar light across the back. Made for aerodynamics, truckers have splitters on the top to push air up and around to make them tow better. Increased the length of this trailer. Took the basic trailer they built, increased the length because I needed something to transport our Formula One cars. So I have a thing to transport the Formula One cars. And off the back, they drive up. I mean that's the thing. So the flame helmet on this guy has on his, that came from another set. Same with this guy with the Stars and Stripe, came from an Air Flight set. This guy he's got a mic on him, so it's more realistic to the cars. My truck driver. One of the things, I was a big fan of the truck drivers. And then, talking real old school, it's actually got a Shell Oil Company on it. But the trucks, one of the things I always wanted to do, the truck driver set always fascinated me. I love truck stops, and it always reminded me of traveling down to Virginia Beach. We'd stop on, New Jersey Turnpike, and the truck stops there, and rest areas, and big trucks, and the people driving them. And then in the United States, we have these big ones that actually have trailers on, that have, not trailers, but little cabs on the back for sleeping. I always thought it'd be neat, but just way to build it to actually have that cab on the back. It's one of those things that, if I really try and think about it, maybe I should try to build one. My problem is I don't have that many pieces, but build a truck that has that is 6 wide, and so I can build more of a realistic cab on the back, and that'd be neat. But I mean, like I said, it's modifying something, taking a Lego, a basic sort of setup of a Lego, and modifying and making it something more. I mean, I just got the 3-in-1 castle set from this year, and they have that dragon. This baby dragon is one of the things you can build. And I said, that's really neat. I wonder how... So out of that same set, I built another little, slightly older baby dragon that's going through molting. I'm going to say molting, because I couldn't, I'm just using pieces out of one set, and I was able to build this little thing. I mean, that's what the things I enjoy more about my Legos. I mean, I still got to talk about this one in the back from Stranger Things, but that's it.